Oh my goodness, so many of you are here. Welcome. So thank you to everyone that gave me questions to read on today. I appreciate it. I'll tell you, we are going through such a heat wave right now in New England. It is incredibly hot. It's another day where we're about as hot as Egypt. We are hotter and more humid than Cambodia. And, we're just not equipped for this. And so, oh my goodness. It has been something. It has been an experience. So let me just see here. Oh, I think someone gave me a donation and I can't see who it's from. I'm sorry, but thank you. I will see it later, but I can't see it right now. Okay, so why don't I start looking at some of your questions? Oh gosh, so 103 today in Portland. Isn't that amazing? Oh, 120, a record day for Europe. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, thank you, Mary Jo. All right, so I have your questions in front of me. So why don't I dig in? There's so much to cover, always so much to talk about, right? So I think the one that got the most likes was by Jackie. Jackie wrote, Kroger just named Elaine Chao, former transportation secretary and Mitch McConnell's wife, to the board of directors. And, Kroger is a food chain, it's a grocery store chain, for those of you that don't know. People are calling for boycotts of the chain after her term under 45 and some deals that her family allegedly profited from. Will she be forced to step down? Yeah, let's take a look. That is, oh, hi, Mark. That is really an unusual decision. Oh, thank you, Christine. I do appreciate the donations, as always. I would say that was a really unusual decision from Kroger to do such a thing. Why would they do that? But it also tells you a lot about them, doesn't it? Because if they remove her, does it almost really matter? Because that you know who they are now. And once somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Yeah, see, we don't have a Kroger up here. I actually had to look up what Kroger was because we don't have it here. We have Stop and Shop and Shaw's. Okay, let's see what Elaine gets here. Hi, Bonds. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Lucky. Okay, so it looks like she is going off on her own. So here she is. And I would say that's probably accurate, the Queen of Swords. She's someone who's intelligent and analytical. I would say, yeah, she's a smart person. She knows what she's doing. But look at what her obstacle is. The card of peace, love, and happiness. So she can get these great jobs, but does it really matter? Because in her heart, she's not happy. And I think she could very well be removed because here's the card, my card of drastic change. So things are changing for her. And here she is being an entrepreneur. Because to me, the Queen of Wands is the ultimate entrepreneur. This is not a card of working for somebody else. So I think, yes, she is probably going. That is what I'm getting from that. Hi, Terry. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Bunker. Hi, Patty and Warrior Girl. Good to see everybody. Hi, Veed. Wasn't sure how many folks would show up today, but thanks for coming out. Scheherazade asks, what is the best way to send our positive prayers and thoughts into the world right now? Is it all about intention and the visuals? The means don't matter so much. Or have my guides given me a best practice? Imagine everyone is connected to the light energy and that you're helping to add to it. Yes, that's a very good practice. Visualize a giant sphere of light around the earth. Yeah, so for those of you taking my mediumship course, you know that we did that exercise on energy balls, right? Opening up your hand chakras, that can add to it too. And in meditation, place the crystal once you have your hand chakras activated, place the crystal in your non-dominant hand. But yes, so when you make the energy ball, you can include whatever you want in it, and that includes the planet. What I recommend doing and what I get from the Raw Collective is opening up your heart chakra. And you see that beautiful green energy that emanates from it, and you send it out to the world, encapsulating the whole planet and just filling it with love and light. And just hoping for the best outcome for everyone, because this is a free will planet. We can't force anyone to do anything they don't wish to do, but we can try to give them good energy so they make the best decisions. Okay. Oh, and she did mention healthcare workers. Yes, they need that right now, don't they? They do need that right now. Oh gosh, so KB, I like your name, KBG asks, are the Tennessee parents and the other anti-masker parents who are disrupting local school board meetings? Yeah, I saw that on TV. I mean, I believe that was a superintendent that was in that car that they were surrounding. It was like an angry mob scene. It was just insane. Why anybody would do that. Are they legitimate or paid trolls? I think most of them are legitimate. Now, by troll, um, do I think they're brainwashed? Yes. I don't know if that makes them a troll. And do I think there's money involved swirling around that situation? Yes. But do I think that the parents are being paid? No. But let's take a look at Tennessee, okay? Because I know that if, for those of you who don't live in the U.S., I mean, the videos coming out of there is just alarming, very upsetting indeed. Yeah, Sharon says scary, wasn't it? I couldn't even imagine being that person that was sitting in the car. Okay, let's take a look at Tennessee. Yeah, you know, good Lord. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. Um, wow. Okay. So the first card I get is stress, worry, anxiety, sleepless nights. Okay. Not just do I think that that is in the energy right now, I think this is what they're moving into. Because if you don't wear masks in the schools, well, guess what's going to happen? We know what's going to happen, right? We know how science works. Science is very predictable. But now I did two cards for the obstacle, and this is very interesting. I first get my card for the virus, and then I get the card of big money, corporate money, legacy money. Okay, so that's what I was getting. But now look what I get for the outcome. Some there, like I said, there's money swirling around this issue. Somebody is giving out money and somebody's receiving it. So, not all is what it seems. And it's just so frustrating, isn't it? I couldn't even imagine living in Tennessee with a child in the school system. I really couldn't. Um, yeah, it's just hard to believe, isn't it? Okay, Carol asks, Senators Ron Johnson and wife of Rand Paul apparently bought stock in remdesivir used in COVID treatment, and they are very vocal anti-maskers and they minimize the virus. So, yeah, and Congress was briefed on the severity back in January 2020. Paul's wife bought the stock in February. Certainly looks a little obvious there. Um, so let me see. The actual question is, oh, are other members of Congress guilty of this insider trading? Let's take a look. I actually don't know the answer to that one. That's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, because it would really benefit them, wouldn't it, for people not to wear their masks? And that's the thing. When you're hearing information, try to look at things from a neutral standpoint and follow the money trail. Because I think as I do more and more of these readings, in the past, year and a half or so, it just seems like I keep getting money, 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 when money shouldn't even be the issue. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay, so yes. So, I mean, the answer is yeah, I think so. Not going to have a good ending or beginning, though. Here we are, three swords through the heart. So, this is rather heartbreaking, all of this. The obstacle, hidden secrets, hidden knowledge, things that we don't know. Um, but they do have their supporters, don't they? See, and that's the thing, no matter how evil some people can be, they still have supporters. They still have people that would vote for them and back them, which is hard to believe, but look at this. So there is money involved. Once again, it has something to do with supporters, but then things do start to change. And some of them, I think, are going to have to leave. So I suspect, yes, you were smart to ask that question, Carol. That's not something I knew to even look at. Um, Yanti asks, she's concerned with kids going back to school in the states like Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, with many people and parents that are against the vaccines and masks. What do I see as the outcome? Honestly, exactly what you think. Because science is science. You literally don't have to be psychic in this situation. If you allow a virus to spread, then you know what happens. There's only one outcome for that. But I thought I would look at specifically Florida, because there's so much energy with all of that, so much going on with DeSantis. Even though he's denying it, he obviously ordered, I believe, 200 ventilators and 100, something to do with the cannula to give the oxygen. So obviously something happened there. And I do know that the numbers weren't correct on Sunday from the CDC. I already did see that, yes. So, but still, they're having a crisis. The CDC getting the numbers wrong for one day doesn't really change the outcome, does it? Okay. Oh. Okay. I mean, so they're basically at a crossroads having to make a decision in Florida. Okay. They got to figure out, are we going to do the right thing for these children or not? Now, look at what the obstacle is. This is the only card that only has children. And that makes me wonder, are they looking at children as being an obstacle? Like they can't continue with their theme of, oh, you can't wear a mask and still love children. Like it's just so strange. But they're going to keep moving forward the way that they are. And this is going to leave a lot of people feeling stabbed in the back. A lot of people are going to feel betrayed by all of this. And this is one of the worst betrayals you can have. I mean, to knowingly harm children is just the sickest thing that you can imagine. And I bet a lot of these people would say that they're pro-life. Well, let's do something about it then. But I don't think they're looking at it that way. Okay. Did I mention how hot it is here? Oh my word. Oh, I mean, I have the AC on, but still, it is just toasty. Okay. Um, okay, so this one got a lot of likes. Silver asks, can I tell more about the ascension harvesting process, please? So for those that are not familiar, harvesting is the same as ascension, but the Ra Collective call it harvesting. But it's like a terrible term that even Ra Hasha is like, yeah, that other collective of Ra kind of got it wrong. They should have called it harvesting because that sounds really scary to humans. So yeah, they call it ascension nowadays, but it's the same exact thing. So so basically we're moving into fourth density, right? And that means we're going out of that time of polarity and duality. a time of you're either in service to others or service to self. So either you're selfish or you're altruistic. And we're moving up towards that heart chakra energy, away from the solar plexus, which is all about me, me, me. We're moving up to the heart chakra, which is about love and compassion, and more importantly, oneness. So as we're going through it, like Raha Shah has said in the channelings that I do for the members, that things get worse before you ascend. And we don't ascend separately. We're ascending as a planet. Now, for those people that aren't going to ascend, what ends up happening is with their next incarnation, they have to go to another third density planet, because once the fourth density, I mean, once the planet, well, once the people, I guess, really, once the people go fourth density, the planet has to go fourth density. They can't go separate from each other. So everything goes together. But that means that the earth has to do a lot of purging, because the earth's been like absorbing all of this negativity, hatred, war, famine, plague for eons. And so you're going to see volcanoes and earthquakes and tsunamis. But that'll also give those people that are on the fence of ascending or not ascending the chance to be of service to others. Because when you have natural disasters, or I mean, think of even the pandemic, this gives people the chance to be charitable, to help their neighbor, to be loving, and to be kind. So, I mean, I think that's probably the best way to explain it. Nothing really happens in this incarnation. You get glimpses of fourth density, which is why we can all tell that the veil is thinning. A lot of people are having spiritual experiences that they never had. More and more people are awakening. But mostly it changes with our next incarnation, aside from the children. The children that are coming in now, that are being born now, are already fourth density. Okay, so I hope that answers that. Yeah, White Dragon says harvesting sounds like something she would reject. Yeah, that sounds terrible. And that's the problem sometimes in channeling extraterrestrials, because they don't really speak our lingo. But Raha Shah's from a slightly younger collective by a few million years, but still, hundreds of millions of years old. Okay, so let me scroll down. Oh, this got a lot of likes. Joanne asks, she remembers that Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, he is my favorite channeler, by the way, says that we are metaphorically choosing between two trains on different tracks. Early on, we'd be able to jump to the train track we would prefer, but the tracks would eventually diverge. Yeah. So let me see. Oh, thank you so much, Tara, for donating. I appreciate that. So basically, yes, what Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, and Bashar is an Essassani being. He's been doing it for decades. He's wonderful. He gives really great advice. But yeah, I think that's really talking about ascension. There's two separate tracks. Either you're in service to others or you're in service to self. If you're in service to others, you're heading towards fourth density. If you're in service to self, you're going to stay in third density for another 76,000 years on another planet. Okay. So I have a tendency to agree, honestly, with everything that Bashar says. He's very similar to Raha Shah and even Koi Ron. Okay. Carol asks, I don't know about time shifts. Can I talk about them and what causes them? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Yanti. That's very generous. Oh, thank you for lighting up some darkness. I try. Listen, I mean, things are going to get worse before they get better, but we can still be okay. You can raise your vibes to pull out of some of this craziness, this madness that we're seeing. And, just be the light worker that you are. Send that love and light and keep your vibes high, and it'll pull you away from some of this madness that we're going to be going through in these next few months. Okay. So, time shifts. So, can I talk about them and what causes them? Well, I mean, first of all, they're happening all the time. I mean, time could have just shifted a second ago and you wouldn't know it. We only really notice the big time shifts, right? So, for instance, when I did that video months and months and months ago about Amy COVID Barrett, okay, being elected to the Supreme Court, and I said something shifted, like the timeline just completely went into a whole new direction. And then the Schumann resonance, the Earth's frequency, dropped. It blacked out. And so what causes them is energy, and it's our energy. Our energy affects the Earth's energy. And it's us as a collective. When we talk about timelines like that, it's us as a collective. But we can also change our own personal timelines, which is something I do a lot. For those of you who follow Dr. Joe Dispenza, he doesn't put it in these terms because he's a medical doctor, but that's basically what he's saying. Get up every morning, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't do what you did usually, where you get the cup of coffee and watch TV and check your phone. Go into meditation. Because if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results. Okay. So one thing that, because I just like to play with timelines, I love timelines. You have no idea how much I love timelines. So one of the things that I did was I shifted my timeline by doing this, by creating heart brain coherence, opening your heart chakra, opening your third eye chakra, visualize what you want. You draw it into those two chakras and you feel it with every fiber of your being. And because I like playing with timelines, I wanted to see if I could be in a different timeline with my YouTube channel. That's why my channel grew so fast. I shifted my timeline. So if not, I would have had to experience the regular growth. But why not shift timelines if you can? And the thing is, it is fun to play with it. And I do like to just play with it. But you can do this with healing. You can, and that's what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about. You can heal yourself by doing this. You shift into a timeline where you're perfectly healthy. There is a timeline that exists where 45 won, where Hillary won. But we didn't go into those, did we? Because most of us are light workers and we wouldn't have been needed. We came down for this timeline to help at this time with the pandemic, to help the planet with ascension. So I hope that answers it. I hope that makes sense. Walter asks, do I have any additional information, impressions, or opinions about the upcoming alien reveal? Nothing's changed. I don't think we're going to get really too much before 2024. And I still say it's going to be the Yahyel that come down, who are 50% human DNA, 50% gray. That really hasn't changed because, we still are racist as a planet. We wouldn't accept something that looked very much different from us. So it has to have some of our DNA. Oh, thank you so much, Bernadette. Oh, that's very kind. I do appreciate all the donations. Sherry asks, how close are we to the time of the new Earth? What more can we do to raise the vibrations? Well, I mean, it's up to the individual people whether they ascend or not. The universe is sort of neutral in that stance. If you don't want to ascend and you want to be like a mean, hateful, spiteful person, well, you know where you're going to end up. But we still have more work to do, which is why we're not done with the pandemic. We're not going to be done with the pandemic for quite some time because people need more of a chance to be of service to others and to really get this. But then we ended up with some people getting brainwashed, and that delayed things too. So it's taking time. I don't have a set date, but I would say it's years away from now because this pandemic's not going anywhere, unfortunately. Oh, yes. And for the record, I told you guys that 45 would not be reinstated today, right? And he's not. He's not. Will DeSantis be forced to shut down Florida? Well, I think that's the key word right there. Forced. He's not going to do it willingly, is he? He just doesn't. But eventually, anytime soon? No, I don't think today or tomorrow. That's for sure. Or this week or next week. Mary Jo asks a really good question. Will insurance companies revamp plans and not cover those who choose not to get vaccinated and those who cannot due to medical issues? Well, here's the thing. I think if you actually have a real true medical issue, I don't think anyone's going to punish you. I mean, if you really can't get, my mother was in that boat. She couldn't have been vaccinated. There's nothing she could have done. She was too frail. I don't see those people, having any repercussions. But what I am seeing, and I got this randomly in meditation one day, and I think maybe because my guides know that I was thinking about this, because the hospitals are filling up with these unvaccinated people, what's going to happen, right? Because you can't do this forever. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. So what I think is going to happen, because this is what my guide showed me. My guide was like doing this with a piece of paper. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, a waiver. There's going to be a waiver. Oh, let me say thank you to Teresa. Thank you so much. I think if you choose not to get the shot, you're going to have to sign a waiver in some of these places that you will not seek medical attention because the hospitals are filling up. You know, you can call, like they were saying, you can call an ambulance, but nobody may show up. You know, you only have so much space in the hospitals, you only have so many workers. And so I would lean more towards exactly what my guide showed me, that if we stay on this particular timeline and we keep going down this road, because the other thing too is, you know, for all of us that are vaccinated, that means we can't get medical attention in some of these states right now. Oh, I don't know why you're saying this, but your mother got the shot. She's 87. Yes, my mother was very medically compromised, if that's what you're asking, and she was on hospice. I mean, it wouldn't have worked out. Okay. What is the name of the person I referred to as Bashar? Bashar is an extraterrestrial that Daryl Anka channels. He has his own website. You can see him. He puts out a monthly video. So Gail says, I'm so disgusted with our Republican representatives here in Texas. I do not blame you. The pandemic is out of control. Warrants are out on our Democratic representatives. There's an archaic power grid. I know that power grid makes me lose sleep just thinking about it. Gerrymandering. Are we the poster child for all that's horrible? No, because you know what? Texas is filled with good people. There are lots of good people in Texas. Just because you have lousy leadership doesn't mean that you're all bad. But let's take a look at Texas, okay? Oh, thank you, Betsy. I love how they're making some of these stickers and everything so cute. They're fun. They're dancing. Oh, see, this is my point right here. So Marianne says, my aunt was taken to the hospital. She has cancer. She's still in the emergency room second day. There's no beds available. Yeah, that's what I see, you know, happening. And I think, yeah, if it gets that bad in some of these places and you're really refusing to get vaccinated, I think you're going to have to opt out of medical care. Okay. All right, so let's look at Texas. Oh my word. Oh my God. Okay. So they're in for a ruthless battle. We know that. You're already going through that, right? And look at the obstacle though. Why is this the obstacle with Texas? You know, them receiving money and pages are about children. Doesn't that make you wonder? They're going to have to go within again. This is one of my cards for a quarantine. And they're going to be left with heartache and heartbreak. This is going to be tough, guys. This is going to be tough. Some of these red states, I truly am worried about. I really am. It's scary, isn't it? Okay. You know, the questions and comments that you guys write just go by too fast. It's so hard to see. Let me take a sip here. Okay. Mrs. Marie asks, when we dream, are we dreaming with the right side of our brain or our left? I'm asking because the right side of the brain is not just creative, but more psychic. Well, you know that I specialize in the brain, right? I'm a dementia practitioner, memory care specialist. Dreaming is actually a full brain activity, you know, including the whole cortex, the brain stem, the hippocampus even. So it's not so much as right brain or left brain, it's actually a whole brain um, experience, if you will. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's one side or the other. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. And I love your name, Critter Sanctuary. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, someone asked, can I slow the rate of chat in the options? No, it goes in real time, unfortunately. Okay, so Ivanka and Jared are quietly trying to disappear. What's in store for them? They really are, aren't they? You don't hear anything about them. Honestly, Lucky, if you just and you're spelling Bashar correctly, if you just type that in, you'll see the website. Because there is no other Bashar, I don't think. Okay. Oh, thank you, Walter. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Critter Sanctuary. Oh my, the very first card's the High Priestess, right? So the unknown, things that are hidden. Hmm. Oh gosh, I literally get a card that they're hiding. But the cards are also showing that I'm gonna go out a little bit because I can see that the cards are telling a story. Okay, so yeah, so it starts off with there's things that we don't know. And if you want a card about, mysteries and things that are hidden, well, here she is. Their obstacle is that they do not like the decisions that are in front of them. Like they have to make this choice, they don't want to. They have to make this choice, they don't want to. There is nothing good. Oh, thank you, Melval. That's very kind of you. But look at this, the card of like retreat, withdrawal, pulling back. So, like you said, they're trying to disappear. If there's a card that talks about trying to disappear, it's this one. Someone asks if I see the Californian school shutting down. I see every school shutting down. I mean, it's not going to go away, and it's only going to get worse as we get into the winter. So, yeah. Um, but now, for now, they've pulled away, but they're very quietly making the money. So they're hiding from public view, but they're not hiding from making money. They're also sticking it out together. They're not separating. They're in this together. They're in it for the long haul. But then something changes and the truth comes out. Here's the sort of truth. Oh, thank you, Lenny Marie. That's very kind. I appreciate it. And now, after the truth comes out, now they're in for a battle here. They're going to be struggling. But for the next several months, it looks pretty good for them. They're going to just be doing their thing, making their money, but then bam, truth comes out and everything starts to change. Sharon asks, will the country shut down again? Yes. We'll have no choice. We have no choice. Oh, my cards got turned around. Hang on. Okay, so let's see. Next question. Oh, so Afghanistan. Right. So, we only sent the troops, the 3,000 troops in there to get people out of the embassy. So it wasn't actually to help the people, but I do believe we're going to let the country fall, which is heart wrenching to watch. I mean, these are human beings. Um, yeah. Which to me is also a failed mission, right? We went over there to, prevent terrorism, to stop the terrorism from spreading. And now we're just letting them take the country back. So let's see. Maybe the cards will say something else, but that's just what I'm getting. Oh, thank you, Yoga Baby. Oh, thank you. That's kind. Okay. So I had a card jump out. All right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we've walked away. We've left the country except for those people, that we sent over to get out the folks from the embassy. But other than that, yeah, we've walked away. Um, our relationship with Afghanistan is in the obstacle position. So I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it? But then I really don't like the outcome here. You know, we get the card of the people are trying to persevere, they're trying to make it through the day, and then we get the death card. You know, a lot of people are going to lose their lives in this. So, you know, and that's the thing, you know, whether it's right or wrong that we stay there, I just feel for the people. You know, that's the thing. Oh, Bead. Oh, no need to thank you. Oh, no, thank you. I really do have the best members. You guys are amazing. And you guys are getting a bunch of new videos today. One with one on clairvoyancy, but then like a clairvoyant meditation with your spirit guide. One's an exercise with your oracle cards. And some great, I got some great starseed stuff too. So with the starseed class this week, it's on how to break some of these ancestral type curses, right? Because star seeds, oftentimes, we go into these families that, and it's not a literal curse, but they have like these ancestral curses, right? Things get handed down from generation to generation, like alcoholism or poverty, you know, things like that. And oftentimes, star seeds come into the family to um, end that, to prevent it from happening for the next generation, which is part of the reason why I think so many of us don't have children too. So I think you'll find that fascinating, and there'll be a meditation on how to do that also. Um, okay, let's see. Thank you, Tita Amaya. That's so sweet. I liked this one. Marie H. What are the Kardashians meant to teach us? They seem to represent unattainable beauty and greed. Thank you. Well, I think it all depends whether you like them or not. You know, on one hand, when I think of the Kardashians, my first thought is money can't buy happiness. They don't actually seem like happy people. Not that I watch them a lot, but when I see them in the news, it's always that they're breaking up with somebody. And the thing is, they clearly want to be in a relationship, because I don't think you have to be in a relationship, but they clearly want to be in one, because they go from like boyfriend to husband to boyfriend to fiance to husband to boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, so money can't buy happiness. But on the other hand, they're obviously smart and shrewd in some way. I mean, they know how to make money. And so I think, you know, don't be deceived by appearances. Oh, Tina Amaya, thank you again. I appreciate that. That, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. I think a lot of what you see of them on TV is an act. And we know that a lot of these reality shows are scripted. And how could they make these, you know, fortunes for themselves if they were really that dumb, right? So don't judge a book by its cover. I'm going to say, you know, there's a lot of lessons to learn with watching them, right? It's interesting for sure. Basha asks, what will the outcome be in the lawsuit against Prince Andrew? Here's the thing. So remember several months ago, I looked at him and I was like, he's going to keep skating by for quite some time. Okay, so now here we are. Okay. And I think that energy is ending. Let me see. That energy is ending. And now I think he's going to start feeling repercussions that he didn't feel before. Let me pull a few cards. Yeah, somebody, let me see who said that. Elflower says, rather have health than money. Yep. Even though the Kardashians do seem healthy, right? I mean, I don't follow them that closely. Um, okay, so Prince Andrew, what do we need to know? Well, see, here's the thing. I don't see the Queen being involved with this. I feel like this is going to be all coming from Prince Charles. And I think he's kind of flipping over a new coin with all of this. I actually am getting the sense that Prince Andrew is going to be held accountable, especially where the girls were underage. Yeah, Warrior Girl says, I called it regarding the prince. Yeah, now he's going to start feeling the repercussions that he didn't feel before. Harry's mom says, I wouldn't know a Kardashian if one bit me. You would know because their lips are so big. God help me, I didn't just say that. Okay. All right, all right. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, things are definitely changing for him. I know, right? I don't usually say things like that, but I couldn't help it. You would know. Um, okay, so the first card I get for him is assessing things. Now he's really starting to think like, okay, Charles is in the picture, not just mom. Things are going to be changing. I got to change things up myself. His obstacle, the card of peace, love, and happiness. So he has no peace. He's not feeling loved. He is not happy. But now look at this. My card for a legal battle followed by judgment. This makes me feel like, yes, this is absolutely going to have real legal implications. And he is going to be fighting. Okay. So he is, I think going to be fighting for his freedom ultimately. Yeah, I'm just reading. Sorry, I'm reading all of your comments. Thank you for all the nice comments, guys. I appreciate that. Oh, Mel says, I don't think the Kardashians are smart and shrewd. Oh, yeah. Well, that they're empty. I won't say that they're deep thinkers, but do I think that they know how to strike a business deal, how to manipulate a contract, how to make the most out of anything they create? They obviously do. I mean, because even the youngest is wealthier than wealthy, but they don't seem happy to me. That's the thing. And that's why, like, the first lesson to me is like, money doesn't buy happiness, you know? Okay. Hello, Star. Hello, lady. Well, right. And one of their dads was a very smart lawyer, maybe a bit corrupt, but. Okay, let's see. Julie asks, will a good size of the non-believers, maybe a majority, start to believe that this virus is real and the vaccine's safe within the next 2 months? Well, unfortunately, I think a lot of the non-believers are in those red states, right? And so we're seeing these poor red states just getting hammered at this moment because of it. So I actually feel hopeful that people are going to start to come around, but let's take a look. Michelle says it'd be fun to live like them for a week. Agreed. As long as I don't have to deal with the rest of the stuff from their life. Yeah. Hi, Carmela from Boston. And they do give a lot to charity. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, when you read on something like that, you have to look at the viewpoint of, do you like them or do you not like them? I mean, I'm kind of neutral. I think that they're interesting, but. Okay, let's see. All right, with the non-believers. So the first card I get is the card of feeling brokenhearted. Hi, little sparrow. So yeah, these people, these non-believers that are getting sick, yeah, this is how they're going. Well, this is how they're starting to feel, but it's going to be going into this energy. The obstacle, look at the obstacle, leadership. Their obstacle is leadership. So it's the people in power. And that's why I said, like the people in Texas, Texans aren't bad people. I know people from Texas. They're not bad people. They have lousy leadership. It's going to take a bit, I'll be honest, because there's too much money being thrown at this to prevent it from happening. That's the thing. There are those people that have an agenda. There's those politicians and one percenters and people that make money off of all of this. And that is a problem. And, this is my card for the US. But, here we go with the King of Swords, that he's holding the sword of truth. A lot of them are going to be seeing the truth. The King of Swords is all about analyzing things and using your intellect. And then for a lot of them, they will be at a turning point, right? Where they can actually shift where they're going and start to manifest that reality that they actually want. Because right now, I think they're living a reality that they don't want. So It's going to take a while, but you know what? The obstacle's their leadership. Okay, let's see. Lori asks, is 45 aiming for another insurrection soon? Where his heat at right now? I know he won't achieve it. Like I said before, I think he's going to try to do whatever he can because he has absolutely positively nothing to lose, right? What does he have to lose by doing that? Um, Nothing at all, right? So I guess from his standpoint, why not? But let's take a look. Yeah, Laura says it's astounding that the masses fall for um, the false representation. Hmm. Agreed. 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 Okay, so let's take a look here. Oh, so right now with 45, him really moving forward with things is at a standstill. He's rather stuck. So I guess that's kind of good for the rest of us. Here's his obstacle. So he's kind of like in his head right now. He's trying to figure things out. He's going over and over all the different scenarios and also being a bit delusional with overthinking, over analyzing. It's not healthy when you're in that mindset. Here he is still planning, still plotting, still doing his thing. But you know what? Things are changing for him. He's waiting for his ship to come in. And then, here he is brokenhearted. So I think he's going to try to manifest whatever he can manifest because he already knows this. But I think he's going to try. But I don't see anything successful, like you were saying. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Yeah, I know September 18th is the new date. But how many new dates can they come up with? Like, come on already. I mean, it just seems ridiculous. What's up with all of our weather? Mary Jo asks. Well, part of it is climate change. I mean, right now in New England, we are about the same temperature as Cairo, and we are hotter and more humid than Cambodia. So, I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? And yes, Mother Gaia is healing herself. Like I said before, she's also purging herself of all this negativity because she goes into fourth density also. Oh, and Terry says thunder all night long. Our forecasts have turned into thunder and lightning every day. And so I hope that, my internet is better for all of you because I really like using my phone for when I do any of my videos or go live. And so I've actually connected it straight into the router. And it wasn't a problem before, but literally it's a storm every day. Here in New England, we're suffering with mold because it rains almost every day. And I mean, it's just unbelievable the mold that's been going on in this region. It's oh, thank you so much, Silver. You guys are so generous. Okay, let me do one more question because we're coming up on an hour. Let me see. Um, yeah, White Dragon says in Florida, it's a storm and lightning daily. Yeah, we're both on the Atlantic Ocean there. It's just so miserable. Mary Jo says mold on all the trees and ground. Yes, it's brutal. Yeah, see, I'm describing Florida, but that shouldn't be the description for New England. Okay, let me look on here. Let's see. Okay, somebody asks about what's going on with Lindsey Graham. Let's take a look. I actually haven't looked at Lindsey for a while. Oh, thank you, Brad Munns. I appreciate that. Oh, in Illinois, 109 degrees. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this is getting hot, isn't it? Okay. Lindsey Graham. What is going on with Lindsey? Yeah, he's been quiet. I feel like I haven't really heard a lot from him. Okay, let's take a look. Ah, there's some truth coming out about him. Oh my goodness. You know, you just can't make this stuff up. So he seems like he's been kind of busy, doing his thing. Um, Interesting though, because you know, this is a really his reading is the perfect example of money can't buy happiness. Okay. So look at this. There's some truth coming out. You know, big surprise, right? But there's some truth coming out. And so often when I'm reading on these folks, this is their obstacle, peace, love, and happiness. So, you know, you can have all the money that you want. You know, he has some power that he enjoys, but he's not actually happy. And then we get the card of big money, corporation money, legacy money. Okay. With the card of financial independence and affluence, followed by the card of feeling burdened and oppressed. So, right about now and in the near future, yep, his money keeps growing, but he's miserable. He's miserable. You know, so money can't buy happiness. And that's what I think is a theme for him for the next few months. All right, everyone. Well, it was a pleasure making this video for all of you. There's like 1,200 of you here. Thank you for coming to watch me. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm grateful for all of you. And please have a beautiful and safe weekend. Bye.